Right now, and this is a very interesting story, and it kind of strangely goes back to the roots on where I'm from. This is quite extraordinary, actually. And Ashley Webster is joining us here this morning. Good morning, Ash.
Good morning, Mike. How are you?
Well, people should know that your mom was taught by my father, went to school with my brother David, and you are the granddaughter of my favorite coach and one of my favorite human beings of all time that won an All Ontario championship in Mr. Hazard. If this isn't Italian, I don't know what is. But how we come to meet is kind of interesting as well, because in the area of fitness, there sometimes is maybe a lot of misunderstandings, I think. And we talk about health on this show, and Bell Lifestyle Products is a big part of what we do. But there's an intimidation, I think, sometimes of people at any given age about trying to get what they would consider to be back in shape, especially if you've had a couple of kids. And for women, I think it's all that much more difficult, usually because they're trying to balance a working relationship along with running the household, being the mom, being the wife. There's so much going on that it would be very easy to all of a sudden kind of give up a little bit on wanting to get into a certain kind of shape. So tell the people your story on exactly how you come to have actually the business that you've got right now.
Well, Mike, I started getting into fitness about 5 months after my second child. I gained a lot of weight. I gained about 67 pounds during my pregnancies. I was pretty tiny before that. I actually just started working out in my basement for 30 minutes, 5 times a week. And then I started being really mindful of my food. My husband actually finally dragged me into the gym, and I really found my happiness in the gym and started really getting results. And I knew that I really wanted to help other moms feel empowered the way that I was feeling and feel good about myself and regain my confidence and get more energy to keep up with my kids. So I started my business called Femmachine, and I started running HIIT classes in a dance studio, which went really well. And that dance studio, unfortunately, it closed down in the midst of it. So then I had to find a different facility. And then I started working at a facility called the Kettlebell Club, where I ran circuit training. And it was such a hit that everyone loved it so much that I quickly went from 3 times a week to 5 times a week. And I had a wait list of people that wanted to come in and do the circuit training with me. And then COVID hit, unfortunately. So the Kettlebell Club ended up closing down. So I started running socially distanced workouts out in my front yard. And then once the heat of the summer came, sorry, go ahead.
So just on your front yard, the people are showing up with yoga mats and
yeah, and I would bring out some equipment. Like I brought out some kettlebells, some dumbbells, an SPT strap, and a stepper, and I would get them whipping around. We got a tire. We were flipping tires in my front yard.
Well, so people are probably listening saying, okay, but she probably was a gym rat beforehand. Were you a person that was a constant gym goer? Were you a gym person before this happened?
Before my business?
Before you had the children, and people were just wondering, are you getting back to a previous shape that you had, or is this something brand new?
This was brand new for me. I wasn't into fitness at all. Really, I did like a little bit of yoga here and there, but no, I was not an athletic person at all before my kids.
So what do you think is the reason why a lot of them, because we're specifically talking about women for the most part right here, what stops them from doing what you did?
I think just mainly the time, the motivation. A lot of women lack motivation. They're tired from like the kids and the hustle bustle of just being a mom, and especially working moms, those who juggle a full-time job and being a mom. It's the motivation, the lack of time, and I think that's what stops most people. And like you said, like there's a lot of intimidation in the gym, and when you first go, you have no idea what you're doing, and people are afraid of being judged, and so it's a lot of everything like that.
but what we're saying too, because if and people go to the website or Facebook page, and they're going to see you in competitions, like they're going to see you doing maybe being on the cover of magazines and so on. but you're not saying that, but that's not always the end goal. Like everyone's not going to expect to look like you or to be able to participate in fitness competitions. So how do you talk to a person like that who might see a lot of what's going on? Like, well, geez, I don't think I can do that. I don't think I'm going to be that. But that's not what you're saying. That's not what the end goal is.
No, the end goal is not. And if they want to compete, absolutely. Like it takes a lot of discipline to compete. And I was lucky enough to land myself on the cover of a magazine. But the end goal for a lot of women is to just feel better about themselves, to have the energy, to get their confidence back, to have a body that they feel comfortable in, that they feel good in. And it's a lot of it is just like regaining the energy that they had before they had kids, because kids can be a lot.
Yes, they can. Now, what
Yeah.
about the nutritional side of that? How do you deal with that? Because people sometimes just think it's going to be one thing. Like, oh, I'll just work out, then I can eat what I want. But there is a balance to it. How do you address nutrition?
Huge balance between it. There's you can work out 5 times a week for an hour and still be eating way too much, so you won't get the results that you want. So I like to teach women habits, um just about how to eat properly and how to eat clean. Like you're welcome to eat what you want. You just, in order to lose weight, you need to be in a caloric deficit. So you just, and eating enough protein. So I coach women on how to pay attention to their macros, make sure that they're eating enough protein, and just getting more fruits and vegetables into their diet. And
What a,
teaching them that they need to be, if you're overeating, then the results aren't going to come. It's all about eating a little bit less.
so is that you know, when I think of the challenges of trying to do all these things, is that the bigger of the issues is nutrition?
100%. Yes. Yeah.
Because it is there's comfort in, you know, a bag of chips, you know, whatever the treat is.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, there's no, and we talk about this all the time when it comes to the Bell Lifestyle products. You're not just taking these supplements and then it does all the work for you without you doing anything in the area of what you eat and then how you exercise, because it all ties in. Now, do you, you know, at some level look at certain kinds of supplements? Because people often wonder when they look and they see someone like yourself, they see the competitions, they see the pictures, they might wonder, well, what is it they're doing? Now, sometimes supplements are helpful. Do you prescribe to some of that kind of you know, in terms of the nutrition?
No, I don't really encourage a lot of supplements. Like a protein shake, for example, is good, but like the only really supplement that I would ever recommend is just a multivitamin.
Right.
Yeah. So
Now,
I
do you
don't,
also,
I take like pre-workout in the morning, but other than that, I take no supplements other than my
now,
multivitamin.
because you, like a lot of people will get it if they have a proper diet, they can get a lot of those things in what they eat. But I guess it's in terms sometimes of a busy lifestyle. If you don't have the time to eat properly, there are certain things that you can do. But the other thing is, you know, to be available, what are they looking at? If someone's listening, or we'll see this later on today, or we'll watch the video, how would they contact you and how does that work?
Well, they can contact me through Facebook, Ashley Webster, or Femmachine Fitness. I'm also on Instagram, at Femmachine_. You can send me an email as well, femmacinefitness@gmail.com. And I'd love to chat about their goals. That's
So it's individual then. So as opposed to having a gym in a location and everyone going, like what, because I know COVID was horrible for the fitness industry,
yes.
because you're opening and closing, and the rules were different for some, and you could cross a border, like you got go in the next county or whatever, and it was okay. It was a crushing time, I would think.
Oh yeah, it threw me through lots of loops when it came to my business, and that's why I'm bringing my business online. So I'm an online fitness coach now.
Right. So that's, so you avoid all the having to lease space and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, because have you had, because of some of those changes, have people followed you from that stage into this one?
Oh yes, yes. I have a lot of very loyal, diehard clients.
No. So what is the makeup of it? Is there a certain age group? Is there a certain sort of category of women that you found, or does it vary?
It varies. I mean, I've coached women in their 50s. Right now, I'm kind of gearing towards moms with younger children who are looking to lose some weight and gain confidence and boost their energy, and it's all customized. Like they get their own workout programs. We do live Q&As every week. I do nutrition coaching, like I said. And yeah, it's very one-on-one, and they get me as their coach online, and they get all the guidance that they need to reach their goals.
What do you think are some of the things that women might overlook when it comes to getting back into shape? Because a lot of people, like, so for guys, they just want to go in and kind of meet heads and they want to lift all this weights and so on. But and they're saying, well, women don't have to do that. But women, you do need weight training. I mean, in order to get a certain body shape, it's, I mean, yoga's great and there's all those other things you can do. But at some point, I would think weights do play a part of this.
Weights are a huge part of it. That's what I teach women to do, is properly weight train and build the lean mass. And the more lean weight that you have, the more fat that you'll burn. So I really do encourage weight training over like intense amount of cardios or hours amount of cardio. It's the weight training that I really push and that I teach the women how to properly do.
Now, as a rule, how long would this go on in someone's life? I mean, hopefully, I mean, it's sort of like this trainer who's always there for you, or does some women get to a certain point and they feel like they're good enough, they can do it on their own and they stop? What is that normally like in terms of the participation?
Well, it's the program that I have right now is called the Fit Mom Method. It's a 12-week program. You will lose 10 or more pounds in 12 weeks. And some women do gain the knowledge and build the habits that they're able to do it on their own. But a lot of women, I find that when they stop training with me, they lose that motivation, they lose the accountability, and they get back to right where they were, sometimes worse. And they do end up usually coming back. So it's hopefully like a lifetime thing. Like, I know clients will never stay for life, but they usually stick with me for a few years until they really have it down pat, that they know what they're doing and they're able to maintain their goals without me.
Well, I think it's what's so great about it, Ashley, is that it's you've come by this in a very not only a healthy way, but a very honest way. You know, you're not someone that, you know, spend all these years in the gym, you have a couple of kids, don't like how you look, you go back to what you used to do. You're somebody that you know, wanted to change after an enormous change in your life, and you're kind of sharing that knowledge, and it's producing incredible results, not just for yourself, but for people. And of course, when you feel that you look better, I mean, it's a whole self-esteem thing. I mean, I'm sure it changes how, not only how they see themselves, but probably it's better for the relationship as well, I would think.
Absolutely, yeah. If you feel better about yourself, you're generally more happy, and you're more connected to other people as well.
Because Brendan was saying that he wants to look ripped and huge, as he would call it, for chicks at the beach, that kind of thing. Because he's a bit of a, he's, as he say, I'm a player, yo. So would you take Brendan on as a client? I mean,
Brendan's not quite my avatar. He's not my ideal client. Hey, I'm always up for a challenge.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure we'll talk to you again. Best of luck with your business, because I think it's wonderful that people take these kinds of things onto themselves. And I said, I'm sure it makes you feel good, making others look good.
Absolutely, it's very rewarding. Yeah.
Well, thanks so much, Ashley, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again sometime.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Mike. Have a great day.
That is Ashley Webster, joins here this morning. Femmachine Fitness is the name, and you will see this later on Twitter. It will be out on YouTube. And of course, she is available, and by going to the Facebook page. And I think you'll enjoy the results. But that was pretty awesome to talk to the granddaughter of a man that just did so much for our town, was a big part of my life and many others in coaching hockey. But it was more the life lessons, the kind of individual that Mr. Hazard was, one of my town's favorite people by far. It is 8:56, the norm coming up. We're going to do some traffic before we go. Here comes Brendan, the machine.